Welcome to another webinar for Darwin Innovation Hub. I'm Dante St. James, entrepreneur in residence at the Innovation Hub. I'm just with COVID at the moment at home. I thought that thing was all over with us, but apparently not. Today, it's all about getting help with your NT business, your new NT business. And I've got a few grant programs, I've got a few support programs in here, and hopefully you'll be seeing this not just live right now, but also on YouTube when I post it a little bit later on. We're going to look at NT government services and grants, as well as Australian government provided programs and some other providers and what they will do as well to help you become a part of the broader NT business community. First up, the NT government. They have the Business Growth Program, which is a $10,000 per year fund per business. It's funded on a dollar for dollar basis. Basically, if you put in 10,000, you can get 10,000. If you put in 5,000, you get 5,000. So dollar for dollar, 50-50, up to $10,000. The good news is that's each year, each financial year, that will then come around and give you another crack again. It's a pretty great program, and it's really good for helping you out with business operations, advice over things like business planning, marketing, coaching with your business, all that kind of thing. There's a whole range of things. You'll see it at Grants NT. Grantsnt.nt.gov.au is a place to look at that. And you'll go through that process with one of the territory business advisors who's there to help guide you through government processes and also through the whole process of all the grants available from the NT government. You must have a turnover at least 75K a year. So you're paying GST essentially and operating in NT for at least 6 months and have between 1 and 50 full-time employees. That full-time employee can include yourself as a sole trader. Next program is the Cyber Invest for eligible territory businesses. Get up to $10,000 to cover 50% of the cost of eligible services to implement a Cyber Invest plan. Now, this is pretty much another 50-50 thing. You put in 10, they put in 10, you put in 2, they put in 2. Generally, $2,000 is the minimum there to make sure you're getting a quality program for your money there. Next up is the Distribution Grant Program for tourism businesses. It supports NT tourism businesses in their distribution journey, which means getting their product out there to the wider market. In 25-26, this is particularly around Chinese visitors with the commencement of those direct flights from Guangzhou through China Southern. So that's very much about Chinese tourism, very much like the previous Chinese tourism before we had the COVID problem, which was all about, helping you to gear up with the right connections through to the Chinese payment providers and for some cultural and background training as well. Then there's the Aboriginal Tourism Development in Northern Territory Parks and Reserves Grant Program. By goodness, what a long name that one is. But it's about you developing cultural experiences and tourism products within territory parks and reserves. So this is looking at, those cultural experiences, whether it's, painting, whether it's music, song, dance, and performance, those kind of things to help you out with developing those particular things in there. There's a whole bunch of information again on that one at grantsnt.nt.gov.au. The Aboriginal Tourism Product Distribution Grant Program is similar to that other distribution grant program we're talking about before, which is geared towards Chinese tourists. This is towards general tourism. It's about supporting the implementation of booking systems and getting some advice from people who can help you to get better distribution into other markets to support your tourism program. Again, this one is available through grantsnt.nt.gov.au. BizSecure is all about getting your territory business to improve the safety and security of your premises after break-ins and crime. It's eligible for both those who are landlords, but also those who are leasing their premises. It's helping you to basically get a funding cap of $15,000 per premises. So it's not limited to per business. You might have 3 premises. You can get up to 15 grand per location of those. And the territory government approves up to 75% of the approved cost of getting that security stuff in. You can see what that covers, including, what physical, installations can be part of that at grantsnt.nt.gov.au. You're going to hear that a few times. Business security and safety audit is pretty much the beginning of that journey we just talked about. So you can get a free security safety audit from approved providers through the NT government through grantsnt.nt.gov.au to give you an audit basically of how you're going and give some recommendations for, it's getting sore, including this worker safety, not just for keeping people out of the business, but it's keeping your workers safe as well. Again, at the Grants NT website. Well, you'll also find the Aboriginal Tourism Grant Program, which is help to inspire visitors to connect with Aboriginal culture through tourism experiences to basically build up the Aboriginal tourism sector in the NT. So that's going to be covering things like developing new experiences, or like looking at current experiences and further developing those. So they could be cultural experiences, language experiences, tours, anything like that really adds to that immersive tourism experience, and not just something which is from a laptop computer. We're talking about actual tourists coming into the territory. The Global Trade Scheme is helping NT businesses set up or expand their exporting capabilities. There's already fantastic help through the Trade Start representative, which is Ricky Borg, who is their Trade Start representative for the Northern Territory, to help territory businesses begin that journey towards exporting something. So whether they're exporting goods, services, whatever it is, could be education even, you can get grants up to $3,000 in Stream 1. There's 3 streams in here. We'll start off with Stream 1 though. That's where you need to start from to help you to become export ready. And that's 50-50 funding as well. So if you work with an approved provider to help you out with that, the government will pay up to 50% of that for you. Global, I just did that one, so sorry, there's a repeat there. The Australian government has provided a couple of different projects through the Northern Territory, the first being Digital Solutions, which is 3 hours of advisory and digital solutions assistance. I'm one of the advisors on that program. So if you would like some assistance with some of those digital things, everything from AI and emerging technologies to websites, social media, marketing, all that sort of stuff that you would use help for, business systems from email through to your laptop computer, all those kind of things can be delivered through 3 hours of expert advice through the Business Enterprise Centre NT. Now, the program is $110, but at the moment, we've got some free codes available, which can waive that fee for you. So if you're a brand new business and you want to get access to that, I've got my email address at the end of this, as well as you're very welcome to join me on LinkedIn and message me there, and I can help you out with what those codes are and how to start that process. Workforce Australia's Self-Employment Services works with a provider called My Pathway, who through Gay Mackay, who is the local mentor for this program here in the Northern Territory, works through Darwin and Alice Springs to provide 12 months of support. So pretty much hand-holding through the whole business establishment process. With up to 9 months of benefit support in there as well. Now, this is exclusively with those who are on, say, a job seeker benefit. You can actually get 9 months of relief from that, having to search for jobs over that period, to give you some room to build your own business. You don't have to be unemployed to be taking part of this program though, but it's not really for established businesses. For very, very new ones where you're doing the sole trader thing and just getting something going for the first time. You do get access to a Cert 3 or Cert 4 in small business and entrepreneurship, which is a fantastic program through the local TAFE. They delivered actually through My Pathway. And so it's like this very, condensed version of a Cert 3 that gives you a good background on how to actually start and operate a business. 100% free program. So that certificate's free as well. And so is that 12 months of support. So you'll be getting some help through your mentors on a monthly basis to keep you on track and keep you motivated with that. I've worked on this program once before myself, and it was so rewarding to see how many businesses it can really assist. So yeah, that starts off through My Pathway. Again, for information, I'll provide those details to you through my email and everything else. Moving quickly through other programs, which include the Aboriginal Investment NT, who provides startup and growth grants. These fund either property purchase, plant, equipment, wages, capped at about half a year. Crucially, they also force the spend into operational capacity rather than just consultancy and admin. So you're not spending, you're not blowing it all on, 90% of what you're doing into consultants to come in and basically write reports for you. This is really about getting things moving. Do have to be an Aboriginal business, of course, 51% or more of Aboriginal ownership, and that's through Aboriginal Investment NT. I can pass on all those details to you. Just get in touch with me at the end. And Aboriginal Business Development Program is through the NT government, so through their grant stream, through grantsnt.nt.gov.au, funding of up to $30,000 every third year, with purchasing of assets, training, or marketing when it comes to getting your business established. I know some of that stuff can be really hard to get going. The business must be over 50% Aboriginal owned and an NT resident, and the 3-year lockout period pretty much is to prevent businesses from becoming dependent on the grant just to handle their cash flow. The idea would be that they can, after the first year, hopefully stand on their own, at least for the next 2 years before they go for that grant again. ICNNT is a service that helps to provide lists of capability to big projects that are happening in the Northern Territory. So you want to get in on big defence projects, federal government projects, big corporate projects, mining projects, port projects. This is where you need to be a member. So they've got a gateway portal where they manage a portal where these big, like massive work packages come in, like, runway work for defense, sun cables, defense housing, big ship lift, all those kind of big projects where they're listed, and they provide some analysis of the capacity of the local market to help to deliver those projects. So what they do is, if you're not on there, they don't know about you, so they can't recommend you, and they can't then send you a recommendation to become potentially a part of these big projects. But they can say that, to these big projects, whether they're coming locally or from elsewhere, to say, well, here realistically is what we can safely say you can deliver when it comes down to local content that can be mandated in a lot of tenders, particularly federal government projects are very much about local content to help the local economy, not just bringing in a bunch of people from Queensland. Protectors very much of the local supply chain. So ICNNT is definitely a place to get yourself registered with, no matter what the kind of project you're doing and whatever work you do. The Darwin Innovation Hub, where I'm working out of, is a concierge service via me, the entrepreneur in residence. And what I do is basically help introduce you to all these different programs and services with nice warm introductions, rather than you just having to go find them and introduce yourself. We can make that introduction for you and point you in the right direction. And even like over a period of time, we can touch base at any time and catch up, grab a coffee and go, okay, did you manage to get them? Great. Okay, what's the next steps? Okay, and we give you some advice for that. I'm completely free at the moment. There's also assistance available through that digital solutions program, since I am a part of that program too. We do have a Start NT program, which is a funded idea for developing new innovations. It has to be, something that's not just, again, opening your laptop and getting to work. It's got to be something which is innovative and has potential, high growth potential. That's on hold at the moment, but usually partners with the Business Innovation Program out of the NT government, which is funding up to $30,000 of grant money, of which you will get $18,000 of that to spend on building the innovation, and $12,000 to basically employ us to help you out with that. That is on hold at the moment, so we're waiting for a review of that grant to be released, hoping that's going to come out around about January, February in the new year. We have a calendar of skills workshops in digital entrepreneurship as well. And we've got networking events across the year. We host the Darwin Public Speaking Club to help with entrepreneurial confidence. There's a whole lot more to come in 2026 as well. And we work with Paspalis Capital, which is a venture capital fund that helps to fund these big innovative projects that need a lot of money to go in there. So examples of that could be Salty Games, with their game that's going to go very viral on the gaming world in Steam delivery. If you know what that means, great. If you don't, just understand it's a computer game and it's really, really good. Other things include, investing in satellite delivery ventures, defense drone projects, rockets, and even in a swimsuit company, which has got its basis out of Maningrida. So there's all these kind of things where you can use us to connect you with others in the Territory ecosystem. Many Rivers is supporting startup businesses, particularly in remote and disadvantaged sectors, including the businesses started by refugees, by remote living Aboriginal people. They provide mentors for ongoing support of starting and running those businesses, and access to microfinance to get that going as well. And by microfinance, they're very low interest, zero interest loans that are paid back over a reasonable amount of time to purchase things like the things that you would need to physically start a business in those locations. I can put you through to Many Rivers as well. They don't currently have a local mentor, I believe, but they do have many others. I just realized I've got one in here before I jump into the array, which is Impact North. So if you're an Aboriginal business or a prospective Aboriginal business, you can access a 12-month program through them as well. They're called Impact North, and they have an amazing program that really heavily mentors you to go through that and works within the context of Aboriginal communities, not just by overlaying, here's how to run a business in the white world. They look at family businesses that often are the basis of Aboriginal business. Now, the Array on Smith Street Mall in the city has educational programs for youth in games development as well as esports, so developing esports talent. So, those game competitions where people win insane amounts of money. The NT Angel Investment Network is also based out of there. So they often have some networking events so you can meet some of the angel investors that actually reside here in the NT. They've got affordable co-working spaces. In fact, you can have a casual use of their hot desks in their space, which is quite nice too, in the Old Vic Hotel. It's up to it's $120 a month for membership, which gives you access to a hot desk, which means not a dedicated desk. You just get whatever desk is available. And they're not super busy in there. So you usually get your pick of the desks. And you also get access to the kitchen. You can go out in the balcony, work out there in the nice part of the year. It's quite a beautiful little spot. And they hold lots of regular events and workshops as well. Finally, NTIBN is the Aboriginal Business Certification Body of the Northern Territory. So it's the Northern Territory Indigenous Business Network. They hold frequent networking and workshop events. They're known also for their NTIBN Coffee, which is held in various locations, including Darwin, Alice Springs, sometimes Tennant Creek and Katherine and Nullarbor as well. They are territory-wide, but they do have offices at the moment just in Darwin and Alice Springs where you can go and see them. So if you're looking to be certified as a definite Aboriginal business with over 51%, and then several other qualification criteria as well, then they're the people to talk to get you started on that journey. So thank you. Hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of how you can get some help with your business. If you missed any of this, it will be on a little later today on YouTube, where you'll be able to see the full presentation as well. You'll see it through either the Darwin Innovation Hub YouTube, just search for Darwin Innovation Hub on YouTube, or my own one, just search for me, Dante St. James, on YouTube as well. That's my email address, and you can connect with me on LinkedIn, and I can help to guide you and I suppose connect you with any of those services and programs. Just reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to have a chat with online, or even if you're in Darwin, in person as well. Once I get through having COVID and I'm allowed back out of the house again. Thank you. Have a great day, and I hope you got something useful out of this. Bye-bye.